Hi guys. So I just started the reading and it's just Divine Feminine for the 4th through the 9th of June. I know I didn't do one this week. I wanted to get caught up on general readings, and now that I'm fully caught up on personal and general readings, I want to be able to put this out for you guys early so you can navigate the energies before they come in. Next week we have Mercury in Gemini, and the Gemini sun is also going to be conjuncting Mercury, and then there will be a square with Neptune in the middle of the week. So communication can be fun and flirty, but make sure that you're not doing it in an illusionary way. Like, don't make things be real that aren't real, I guess. Neptune can be a very illusionary energy, where you actually are like conjuring up ideas in your head that aren't real. Yeah? So let's see what the Divine Feminine energies are for this week. I do feel like there is kind of a truth that's coming to the Divine Feminine this week. They're kind of having to come to like a hard truth and thought process. Some of you guys will be able to navigate it pretty easily, and I think some of you guys might fight it. The ones that are fighting it are the ones that are kind of still stuck in the illusion of wanting a fantasy instead of knowing that things have to change in order for any kind of union to move forward. So we've got one card is Take the Lead, which is the Three of Wands. Let's see what else is on the top. Daydreams and Decisions. Sorry. There was this hair that was driving me crazy. Daydreams and Decisions, which is the Seven of Cups. So you're not really sure about the future. Daydreams and decisions are those illusions that I was kind of talking about. That Neptune, we are also in a really big water trine right now, like today and tomorrow. Jupiter in Scorpio, Neptune in Pisces, Cancer or Venus in Cancer. So I don't know about you guys. I've had some crazy dreams with all of these energies going on. The first card that has come out is the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords. So really kind of the Queen of Swords is somebody who gives chance after chance after chance, and then finally when she's done giving chances, she just cuts everything off. She's like, I'm done. I'm not doing that anymore. So like I said, you really want to look towards the future, and you're not really sure what that future is going to look like, but I feel like the Divine Feminine is not going to put up with any more BS. If she's kind of, I feel like this, I'm at the end of my rope feeling is what I'm getting. It's very interesting because, then we have the Sun. So a lot of clarity in these two cards, a lot of clarity. And I do feel like it's because, again, there has been a very hard truth or a very hard situation that occurred or has been occurring, either with the Divine Masculine or just in her life in general. Really coming, I feel like there's this awakening. You know, the Sun often represents that spiritual awakening, that like click of a light bulb. And sometimes you have to hit the most bottom before you can get there. And some people fight that because they don't want to live in the unknown. There's a fear of the unknown. So some people fight that. And then once that Sun comes along, we can hit the Three of Pentacles, which is rebuilding, starting from scratch, starting over again, and recognizing that that needs to happen in order to continue on your journey. So the Three of Wands is all about wanting more out of life. Like, I'm tired of wanting more out of life. And then we have the Page of Pentacles. So again, starting fresh, starting over. And a lot of times, I want to say a lot of times the reasons why we have to start over and we have to start fresh is because of regret or disappointments. 5 of Cups. As that card was flying out, that's what I was thinking. And I just kind of looked down and I was like, it scares me sometimes, like how simple yet truthful the cards can be. We have to all be very mindful of where we are placing ourselves within situations. What do I mean by that? So you're on this journey, this twin flame journey, this soulmate journey, this divine partnership journey, whatever you want to call it. And it's been really, really hard. And there keeps on, you keep on getting this opposition or this fight back, this energetic, this negative energy constantly being thrown at you. Sometimes there is a reason for that. If you know who your divine partner or your twin flame or your karmic soulmate or whoever it is consistently giving you negative energy, it's because they're triggering something within you that needs to be awakened. And so I know a lot of people are like, can't stand it when I talk about my life, but I live this journey every single day. And the things that happen in my life, I feel help others when I say, I've been there. I've been doing this myself. It makes us all more human when you hear that somebody else is walking the same path as you, or they've had the same past as you, and they too are healing from things. One of the examples of, I say that, that somebody will mirror you. That doesn't mean that if they're a bad person and they treat you like crap, that you are a bad person and you treat other people like crap. That's not what that means. Mirroring you and reflecting what it is that you need to see within yourself is when they trigger you. And that trigger, like for example, the trigger that I would always get as a very young child, all the way up through my adulthood, up until just a couple of years ago, men would treat me very disrespectfully. And I think I've talked about this during a Divine Feminine reading before, so I won't go into it completely, but men would treat me very disrespectfully, and it would happen over and over and over again. And men would continue to come into my life, triggering something within me that would make me feel abandoned or be very derogatory towards me, make me feel like I'm not good enough, or that I'm only good for one thing, a pretty face or a good body or whatever. And even when I started this channel, it was really bad for a while. I would get emails all the time from men. This is very general, like not all men are like this, but there were some that, and it's like I was a magnet to it because they had to continuously trigger something within me that I needed to heal. I don't like to use the word hate because I don't hate anything, but I really, really, really strongly disliked men for a very long time in my life and thought that they were just like, there wasn't a good man on the planet. That's how I felt for a very long time. And there was a trigger within me. I had to recognize within myself that I was good enough. I was good enough to, and I was able to put that boundary up, that block up. And it's funny because a lot of it, my twin flame helped me recognize through that as well. I don't really talk about my journey much because it is a very personal experience for me. If you get a personal reading from me, sometimes I will talk a little bit about it. But the journey itself of he wouldn't be derogatory towards me ever. Like, he's never been derogatory. He never made me feel like I was less than he's actually the person that's always built me up. And that was the thing. Like, I recognized that all of these men that were always derogatory towards me, regardless of whatever was going on between him and I, in our relationship, there was never, and then something would happen and he would shoot me down. And it's like, all of a sudden, like, that happened, actually, a couple of months ago that happened. And I felt like, oh my gosh, I'm letting it happen. And then I started getting emails again. It was like I had healed that part of me, and then he triggered something within me again by doing something. And it's like, I don't even think that he really did it to hurt me. It was just something that I needed to learn. It was like that test. Are you sure you're healed from this? Let's make sure that you're healed from this. That's what I felt like the universe was doing. And so I had to turn again, and then the emails started coming in again, and I was like, oh my gosh, I really need to make sure that I know exactly who I am and what my purpose is and what I deserve in this life. Because I feel like that is really something, that is a karmic lesson that I've needed to learn for a very, very long time. So let me get back to the reading. As the divine feminine is going through this awakening and having to really start over again, it's like she almost has to be broken down completely and brought to her knees almost, to recognize that what's going on has absolutely nothing to do with, like, the reason why that person can trigger her is because she has yet to heal that wound. And it could be a past life from many, many, I know my wound was actually from many, many past lives, like not just from this lifetime, but this was the lifetime that I really needed to heal it and to understand about it. So then we have the shadow side, which is the devil. I'm using the Witches Tarot by Ellen Dugan this week. I don't think I mentioned that. The shadow side is the devil. So yeah, again, really having to look at all of those things about ourselves that we don't show and that sometimes we don't even admit to ourselves or other people. So let's clarify some of these. Queen of Swords, being very honest. I feel like, and it could be that the divine feminine's kind of cold this week and not really opening herself up to a lot of things. And again, this is for the 4th to the 9th, so we still have a couple of days. The 4th is on Monday, which happens to be my oldest son's birthday. Happy birthday to him. So we have the Hanged Man on the Queen of Swords. I feel like, again, she's been enlightened. She's been enlightened, and she's being very honest with herself and seeing things from a different perspective, a different point of view. And the Sun, 5 of Swords. The 5 of Swords, a lot of people call it, like, nobody wins. Nobody wins when it comes to the 5 of Swords. But I feel like a very big loss had to happen, kind of a deception almost had to happen for her to kind of wake up, see the light. And unfortunately, sometimes that's what has to happen to trigger us to see the light. I don't like the idea of that, but sometimes it is. Sometimes that's what has to happen for us to see the light in situations. And then the 3 of Pentacles. So you start over again, and you start building it with your tribe. I feel like you start the week off kind of in an illusion state. But with the 7 of Cups also, with this daydreams and decisions, this means that you have so many things in your future that could be really, really great if you just focused on it instead of thinking of it as an illusion. 3 of Pentacles, rebuilding, 9 of Wands. Like I said, some of you really might block the rebuilding process because you still want to sit in the illusion that things can be one way when they clearly aren't, and things have to change. We cannot stay the same. People have to evolve. And if you are separated from your divine masculine and you want to get back together with your divine masculine, but you want it to all be the same as it was before, it's not going to be. And if it is the same as it was before, that means no healing occurred, and you will separate again. You know, it's funny because I've had twin flame teachers actually say to me, twins are not supposed to be in separation. I completely 112% agree. Twins are not supposed to be in separation, but we live in the real world. In 5D, there is no separation. You are one soul in 5D. In 4D is where separation begins and occurs, and that's where the telepathy happens, and that's where you're able to feel each other on a very spiritual level. And then we get to the 3D where, yes, physical separation will occur. We were born as two separate humans. The goal is, yes, to be in union, and twins are not supposed to be in separation. And I, for one, would love to have all twins together. Why do we separate from our twins? Why do we separate from our twins? Not because we have to. Some twins meet because they did all of the healing process beforehand. They were triggered and they were broken down and they were refined. Each individually through their life, they were refined and they were broken down. And when they came into union, it was beautiful. I honestly wish that would have been my journey. But I had to meet my twin first because the universe tried to wake me up time and time and time again through my existence. I can look back and be like, man, there were so many opportunities that universe brought me to my very knees, broke me down completely, and wanted to wake me up. And I would pick myself up and just forge forward in this 3D world and like not even think about anything, that there was anything more out there that I needed to do. So when I was at rock bottom again, my twin showed up. And then I realized that my purpose was different than what I always thought. And that's when the awakening occurred. And it's and everybody's journey is different. Your journey and your story is not going to be the same as everybody else's. My twin and I are not supposed to be together right now. He still has karmic lessons he has to learn. I have lessons and goals and aspirations and healing that I have to do as well. Funny enough, I always tell him, because we are in contact, we're just not in union. I always tell him, you're healing everybody along with me, whether you recognize that or not, you really are, which is so true, because there's no way I could do this or be a healing part. So we're already living the mission, even though we're not fully in union with each other. When we are totally refined, both of us, separately, individually, when we have learned our karmic lessons that we needed to learn, and we are ready for union. I personally would have loved for it to happen before we met. I tell people who don't know their twins or their soulmates or their divine partners yet, I'm like, be glad that you don't. Be glad that you are learning about yourself and refining yourself now. Because it's hard to know that you have somebody out there that you can't be with right now. It is very hard. It's one of the hardest things I've ever had to go through in my life. But it's also one of the most beautiful things I've ever had to go through in my life. Because at least I know that there is that other part of me learning, and he's learning to love himself as I am learning to love myself in the same journey. And so no, I will agree with twin flame teachers out there who say twins are not supposed to be separated. You are supposed to be in union. Yes. But sometimes separation occurs because we don't live in 5D. As much as we all want to just be in union, we don't live in 5D. And we have more karma to deal with our divine partners, with our twins, than we do with anybody else, any other soulmate that we come across. I've been asked several questions, and I've been saying, I will do the videos, I promise. I've been asked several questions about this journey, and I will do the videos eventually. But let's keep going with this reading. I kind of went off on a tangent there, but I do feel like some people needed to really understand that yes, we are supposed to be in union with our twins. But the reality of it is that we came into this earth as two separate humans, two separate human forms. Page of Pentacles and King of Swords. The King of Swords on the Page of Pentacles, I feel like if it was your divine masculine that was kind of put you in this hanged man state, kind of put you on guard this week, it really humbled you. And I feel like that's why the awakening is happening. I feel like that's the deception and the humbling act of the King of Swords. He could have been very cold. He could have been very shut off. Or he's just not communicating at all. And that could be humbling you to the point to where you're kind of coming to these truths yourself. And having to look at things in a different perspective. You're like being forced to be in the hangman position this week. So the Five of Cups, the regrets, the disappointments. And it could be like disappointments of your divine masculine. It could be regrets from you. Five of Cups. There we go. The thing is there are still two cups that she has her eyes closed to. She's looking at them, but her eyes are closed. And then we have the Magician on top of this Five of Cups. This is making me feel like you can still manifest things with those two cups. And if you recognize that you still have something in your life, that just because there are three cups that are spilled and you still have those two cups there, it's possible to still be able to manifest things and believe that you have enough to begin manifesting things. Manifesting your future, manifesting your union. Even if it feels like you cannot. So the shadow side, being honest with yourself, looking within yourself. And why do you have to do that? King of Pentacles and the Tower. So the Divine Feminine may have a life partner, or this could just be two opposite sides. I think the King of Swords and the King of Pentacles came out in the last reading I did for Divine Feminine. I don't recall completely. But this could also be a breakdown of your physical world. Finances. Or really having to look at I just feel like this is very much looking deep at the 3D, having to break down the 3D. Having to break down the stability of the 3D life. And it's really funny because, so I've been asked, you know, I don't understand, how do I break down the 3D life and still not be afraid to move forward? You know, we all have to have jobs, we all have to make money, we all have to, you know, still survive and live on this earth, on this planet. Yes, we do. Totally. That was one of the karmic lessons I know that I've had to learn, because I've had to look at the karma in my life and what I've had to learn from past lives. And one of them is that money is not the root of all evil. It is the people behind the money that's the root of all evil. If you're not doing good with your money, or you're just being evil with it, there's a difference. Money is an object. It's the intention behind the money that makes it evil or good, powerful or not. one of the things, so I'm going on tour, quick plug here, I'm going on tour, and the things that we will be talking about, that I will be helping everybody navigate through their authenticity with bravery, even in the face of fear, even in the face of your world breaking down completely and having to go through this whole awakening, and what it means to really journey on and teaching how to meditate and teaching how to self-care, because self-care can be construed as selfish and evil, but it's the intention behind it. I know I have to take care of myself. I know I have to take time out to meditate and take long baths and be really good to my body and eat well and, skincare, things that I never really thought about before because I thought it was high maintenance. And I was never a high maintenance person. But when I take care of myself, it makes me feel good. And in turn, then I can heal others within feeling good. And that's the thing. It's the intention behind the self-care on whether it's selfish or not, right? We've all put labels on a lot of these things that can make us actually feel really good in life. Taking time out for yourself is not selfish. If the intention behind it is to treat others like crap, I'm going to take time out for myself, screw you all. Like, no. If taking a time out for yourself is a punishment for other people, it's the intention behind it that makes it bad. When you take time out for yourself because you truly need to grow your soul and refresh your soul, that shows in the outside. Once you are caring for yourself on the inside, it shows on the outside, right? So the tour that I'm doing when I'm in New York and Boston in July, and actually the Boston event link is below for those tickets, and it's also on my website. I just put it up, yay, on my website last night. Just look in the menu on the top and you can click, it says events. Events and workshops, click on that and it'll take you straight to the Boston link. New York, Atlanta, Austin. We were going to do Philadelphia, but that's kind of gone away. I'll try to get there later this fall. But we'll be doing Atlanta, Georgia in August and Austin in August. And in July, New York and Boston. So I'll keep everybody updated on the other dates. But for now, the Boston one is for sure. It's on July 27th. And I really hope everybody has a good week. I know I kind of went off on a tangent a little bit. I hope you guys don't mind, but I do know that there are a lot of questions everybody has, and I hope that I enlightened you to some answers for that. Just really remember this week that if it feels like things are really rocky, Uranus is doing a number on everyone. Just know that the intention behind the rockiness and the instability is to really help you grow for your future, and to awaken. So really, I feel like a lot of divine feminines need to sit in meditation this week. Really, really listen to yourself. Try to find that balance of peace. If you cannot do meditations on your own without your mind going crazy, do guided meditations. There are a lot of them on YouTube. My favorite guy is Joe Tracy, Tracy, Joe Tracy with the Hypnotic Labs. Love him. His voice is just very soothing. I've always connected with it. And that's how I started my meditation. Now I'm able to do it, I can actually listen to my higher self without needing somebody to prompt me to listen to my higher self. And I'm not laughing at everybody. It took me a while because I am Virgo. I'm always up in my head, right? So I hope everybody has a great week. June specials start today. The relationship reading is on special today, as well as the soul's lesson reading through June. Both of the soulmate twin flame relationship readings. I will prompt that with, I am taking a vacation to hang out with my boys from June 21st to June 25th. I will not be doing readings during that time. And so if I cannot get you in before the 21st, you will be scheduled on the 26th or the 26th and on. I know that a lot of people have issues with that time frame. The thing is I like to keep my prices down. So I'm a busier person because I keep my prices down. And to keep all energies calm and smooth, I really try to make sure that I am not overloading myself with general readings or with personal readings every single day. I only allow myself to do a certain amount. So it was like that, you know, where's the balance in that? Do I charge more money or do I have to push the people out further? There is always an option to have an emergency reading. If you choose the emergency reading option, you can get the reading within 3 days. So there you go. If you cannot wait 3 weeks, which is what the wait time is right now, just putting it out there, 3 weeks. If you cannot wait 3 weeks, then you can choose the emergency option and get it within 3 days. I hope all of that made sense, and thank you all for understanding that I would rather not gouge you with prices, but you will have to wait a little longer for readings. So that's the way that I do it. There you go. I love you all. I hope you have a really, really wonderful week, and I will see you guys for the Divine Masculine reading, which I will do later today, and I will see you next week. Bye.